Alright, so we are off to a horrible start. Catching up. Alright, so Tommy we might have to focus on completely for this one. And Tommy continued to struggle with bully. Oh, shit. Okay, we're good.
Barb, sorry it's been so long since I've written. Things have been hectic around here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get things back on track. I don't really want to get into it, but we're getting pulled in a lot of different directions right now. Nothing hurtful, just competing priorities, I guess. Although those can get worse and worse over time. I mean, Dan and I, before we got up here, you know we'd started to drift. Look at that. I said I didn't want to get into it, and I did anyway. Enough about me. Please tell me you're doing well, and I hope this doesn't stress you out too much. I promise to write a happier letter soon. Yours always, Linda.
Well, so yeah. My son is gonna grow up to hate me. But maybe this time I might be able to do nothing but stuff for Tommy. Stevie and Kevin get it. Their father likes them. Oh shit. I can already tell that was supposed to be like a, oh yeah, the thing is so good. Oh crap. Tommy's getting picked on by two assholes.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, Pumpkin.
Could get used to back rubs like that. Oh. There's the diary. God, I wish I could read the diary while I'm in here. Wait, can I? Never mind. I bet that's just letting me know. I might as well read Dan's mind. Oh, shit. He was just about to get up, too.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa.
Dad, what did I just say?
Tynan and Kelly left this morning. I wish they could have stayed a little longer, but it was great having them. It felt just like college again. Fishing, having a few beers, talking about how we're going to conquer the world.
That's how I am with my
Looking for
college
some
friends
issues on
sometimes.
his book even gave
Except
me
the
an idea
fishing.
for how to fix the logjam in Act 2. Funny how creativity works sometimes. I've got to remember to put him in the acknowledgments.
Well, yeah, so Dan's doing well. So yeah, we could probably skip whatever he wants. Perfect schedule, aka the single unattached writer's guide. 10 to 2, right. 2 to 3, eat and sleep. 3 to 7, right. 7 to 8, eat and sleep. Decompress, Tedit? Life. Ranches, Tommy till 11, knock off.
What?
Oh, phew.
Huh.
God, these guys are getting way more alert. Or either that or I'm just getting really kind of...
Alan, this letter might come from out of the blue, but do you remember when you told me about Bobby falling behind on reading? Looks like we're there with Tommy. We knew he was struggling when we came up here, but his teacher gave us a list of books for him to work on over the break and said we should see how he responded to the change in environment. She gave us a few sample readings and told us to keep an eye on how he was grasping the concepts. Tommy still isn't there, and long story short, the pediatrician in town knows a specialist who gave us some exercises to try. They seem pretty straightforward, but I wanted to write and see if you had any tips that helped you guys with Bobby. Damn. Just realized I didn't even ask how you've been. I'm sorry. This stuff is just a lot to think about. Dan.
Who are all these people?
How's it going, Tommy?
Fine, Dad.
Whatever! New rule, don't disturb me if the door to my office is closed. Oh shit. He's gotten so focused in the book that he's becoming a dickwad. Good thing I can get out of those lights without falling on top of the people, because that would have been really horrible. Now, where is... there. There's one of them. Picture's the same. Pictures is always the same.
Will it make me smarter?
Honey, listen to me. You are smart.
Oh, God, it reminds me of that one. I don't know if anybody remembers that Ray Romano show where I can't remember what it was, but I just remember it hits me every time when his son, like they're driving in the car and it's like raining, and then his son asks, "Are you embarrassed of me?" And then he turns to him and just looks and says, "No, you're my hero." I'm just like, oh God. Oh. Alright, so now we just have to figure out where everything else is.
Hey.
Oh, hey there.
Oh, wow, Dan's right there. I didn't even notice that. Alright, well. Oh, I know. Hey, guess what, buddy boy?
Hey, Pumpkin.
Am I good or am I good? I finally figured out how that can work to my advantage. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, I want to stress that it's perfectly normal for children to fall behind in a specific area. Tommy may be struggling with reading comprehension, but his verbal and visual abilities are excellent. That said, he won't catch up on his own. He will need the support for both of you. I recommend that you do the attached exercises with Tommy every weekday for one morning from 1 to 2 hours. He'll be able to unable to focus exclusively on these for 2 hours, so you need to intermittent breaks. But use your judgment and stay with it as long as you feel he can stay engaged. I suggest that you do your session in the morning before he tires himself out and becomes distracted. I feel confident with the supportive environment, dedicated exercise, he will catch up with the other children in class. Please be in touch with it. If you have any other questions, Dr. Donald Samuels. I almost said, please. I almost said, please don't touch anything.
Call the electrician later.
And said to do the Lonnie book every morning. I guess bathroom is a good place for me to go if I just want to.
Hey, Pumpkin.
Dan and I had a good conversation today. Well, we'll have to wait and see if it was actually good, but I feel like I got my point across about family time.
He was
We've
like,
been getting a
no!
little afraid on the little things lately, and it reminded me of something Anne said one time. Love is a behavior, not an emotion. If something's important to you, you show it with your actions. We weren't doing so well with that before we got here. I told Dan my idea. I want us all to eat together at 7 every night, with family time after that. Tommy's wiped out by 8:30, so we'd get a solid hour and a half as a family, and then Dan and I could have the rest of the night to ourselves. And I think 7's a reasonable request. The rest of the working world knocks off at
Sounds
5,
like
right?
a wonderful compromise.
It doesn't really matter what we do with the time, just that we spend it together. It's easy to make excuses when you've got a lot going on, which is why patterns help. I hope he feels the same way.
Hey, Pumpkin.
Ideas. Weekly outing. Where? Tuesday movie night, check your channel guide, or maybe into town. Family dinner, 2 old-fashioned, picnic, farmer's market. Luckily, there's only one way in and one way out of that, so...
Hey, buddy.
Who's Linda?
Here we go.
But yeah, Dan needs to spend more time with the family. That way he's not so uptight when things happen. Where the hell did she come from?
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
All right. We barely talked yesterday.
Wow, you're right. I guess we've just been so busy.
Yep, so... You know what? Yeah, I don't know whether or not I want to have Tommy be the compromise or Linda be the compromise this time, though. What is she
I'm sure Mom and Dad would have liked to have been the only visitors in the house, but they understood the bad timing and were glad to see us at all.
And
With
they've
so much
also
going
learned
on, I
exactly
didn't
why
get a
you
chance
shouldn't
to
just
talk to
visit
them
a
about
house
things
while
with
you're
Dad.
without
I
calling
need to
first.
try and call or write when they get back home. I hope they're okay.
Yeah, this ends with like the family should have dinner around the table every night. Man said to do the Lonnie book. Well, you know what? Let's have Linda be the compromise this time. And hopefully that'll be enough. Now, the real question is...
It was like...
Where the hell is the Lonnie book? And what is the Lonnie book? And why is the Lonnie book? And how is the Lonnie book? And where is the Lonnie book? And how is the Lonnie book? And who is the Lonnie book? And what is the Lonnie book? And, but the most important question, when is the Lonnie book? Remember, that's the thing for every single story out there. I remember that was drilled into my head for when I was younger for a long time, which was make sure that you answer all those questions before you start any story. The who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. Oh, okay, here we are. How old is Tommy? That book seems kind of young for him. Alright, so now the table, we'll take that as the compromise. So. Dan, your family never loves you. Not like me. Dan didn't want Tommy to start another school year behind, so he committed to helping the little man 2 hours every morning. Having both of his parents help Tommy's confidence as much as his reading, and the morning became an event and they looked forward to. Yay! Dan couldn't find time to knock off completely at 7 every night, but he agreed to have dinner at the table each night before heading back to work. Linda and Tommy messed him after dinner with the sound of his typewriter, only sign he was ever in the house, but they were glad at the time they did get at the table. So you know what, Dan? Love your family before you start getting mad at them for coming in. Dan couldn't figure out a way to please everyone and still make enough time to focus to write. He was able to compromise and fit in one unbroken session each day, but for the rest of the day he worked around his family commitments and making other shorter sessions. The lack of focus came through in his work. You know what? You got 2 good chapters going in here, alright? So you know what? That's all that matters. As July came to an end, the Kaplans' lives developed a pattern. Dan's fingers could barely keep up as he typed the last chapter of his draft. He always thought the phrase, "the words are coming through me," was a cliche for hacks, but he didn't think that now. If the book wasn't done yet, still needed work and polish, but he knew he could focus on something that truly mattered. Fuck yeah! Alright, the story's in a good shape, so even if the rest of it's crap, I think it'll be okay. Dan and Linda spent the weekend in bed and breakfast, and they relaxed, hiking, quiet dinner, at a corner table at a small restaurant. Afterward, they walked home hand in hand like 21 again, content and in love. Okay, so their marriage is fine. And Tommy... On the following Tuesday, Tommy put on an art show on the den, explaining that his drawings and prints one by one. Dan made sure to ask questions and engage his son, who was more happy to elaborate on his artistic intent. Dan clapped for each drawing, and by the end, Tommy was beaming. Oh, I feel so warm and fuzzy inside now. They still had a month left, but Dan's chances to change the course of the summer were growing fewer. Okay, books great, marriage is great, relationship with the son, okay, could be better, but it's good for now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and vacation. I'm really tempted to finish this right now because I do want to see where this goes. But I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna stop for now. So we will see you guys. Right now I'm getting really into this story, and that scares me because this game shouldn't have a story this amazing without it being like all ghosts or whatever. And I understand now why a lot of people would want to play with the option with just the story, because it's like, yeah, if that's the case, then you don't need to worry about, jumping through the possession or whatever, and they never see you, so then that way you can just be the unaired muse kind of floating through the circles or whatever. But, yeah. I will see where this ends up. Something tells me that there's like a really awesome ending, a normal ending, and then, dude, what were you thinking ending? So that's my prediction right now. But we'll have to wait for that for the following day. So I will see you guys next time.